So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for how I reacted to my cousin's YouTube prank? So as always, I want to make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on, so twice a day I can remind you to just take a break, relax, and unwind from all the craziness that's happening in the real world, because craziness on the internet is always much more fun to watch. So OP wrote, my cousin has a YouTube channel and he has been kind of obnoxious since he's had it. He's been into doing YouTube pranks, and at a family event last week, he walked up to me and knocked my phone out of my hands and broke it while his sister filmed. I was really upset because I had a lot of vacation pics in that and I hadn't backed it up. Plus, I just like my phone. It wasn't terribly expensive and I only paid $200 for it refurbished, but I still liked it. I was like, what the F would you do that for? And getting mad, and he was like, chill, it's just a prank, you get a new iPhone, and he gave me this phone that I guess was the newest iPhone. I was like, what the F? I want my old phone fixed. And he was like, but this one's worth 10 times as much, and going on and on about the specs. He seemed baffled that I didn't want it, and I wanted my crappy iPhone back. I asked him if it was really mine to keep, to do whatever I wanted with, and he goes, yeah. So I throw the phone on the ground and break it. I tell him that he still owes me for my phone off mine that he broke. He's freaking out and goes to his mom, and it all comes out. That iPhone wasn't his to give away. It was one his parents bought him and was still under contract. So I'm mad that I had my phone broken. My cousin's parents are mad because he had the iPhone they bought him for him broken. I ended up getting my pictures recovered from my broken phone, but learned a lesson about backing it up. But where things stand is I think my cousin owes me an actual replacement, the same phone that he broke of mine. My cousin has been very quiet, but his parents think I owe him an iPhone because I broke the one that they bought for him. I think I don't owe them the money for the iPhone because I only broke it after asking if it was mine to do whatever I want with. Am I the antagonist for how I reacted to the prank? So as always, we got to take the case right over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction. I'll cover some of those top comments and those controversial comments as well, but let's just go ahead and go over to what I'm saying is Exhibit A is the idea where it's the, chill, it's just a prank, like the idea that if chill, it's just a prank was only admissible in court, like what chill, it's just a prank is really communicating is like saying, dude, I don't understand what it is to be an adult yet. So when they do something unacceptable, they're really basically trying to say, dude, don't punish me, I'm only 10, I'm a kid. Like the idea that they don't know what consequences are and their whole life is just in a sippy cup. No spills, no mess, no tears, they're there, buddy. Which kind of brings us to Exhibit B here of, life comes at you fast, and OP gave it to him fast right there, saying, you giving me this phone? Good, smashed. Your cousins aren't mad at you for smashing the phone, they're mad because they're incapable of raising their kid correctly, and it's easier to blame you for this one incident than it is to blame themselves for the last 20 years of his life, and, the idea that I guess we can kind of take this to maybe Exhibit C over here where, potential consequences, you trying to pay the phone, maybe not paying the phone, you getting your phone. No, OP, you're not getting a new phone right now because you had the opportunity to get a new phone, but you just wasted it on teaching the cousin a lesson, a great one, but the opportunity came and went for you to get a replacement. If my waiter destroys my pizza trying to be fancy for the gram while pouring drinks, if they bring me an extra large pizza out to replace it, I can't smash that pizza on the ground too and say, hey, I still want my original pizza, you pizza peasant, or whatever it may be. So judging only OP, I'm gonna go ahead and say not the antagonist, even though there was some antagonist moves in that, but he just kind of shot himself in the foot in the end. Like, yes, cool, you're able to recover your pictures, but $200 is a pretty steep price to pay to replace your phone, but may not be the most expensive lesson to teach. Maybe it's worth it to you, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but as always, we'll take a brief break. I want to know you guys' feedback as to if you think he's the antagonist, if he's not the antagonist, or I'm wrong, I'm right, but I mean, do it before you get to the top comments because sometimes that changes our mind, but let's go ahead and say the top comment is not the antagonist. Pranksters sometimes get punked for their antics. Your cousin just learned that the hard way. I think your cousin owes you an identical phone to the one he broke, and he can pay to get his own iPhone fixed. Let's see him post that follow-up on YouTube. And here's the idea is it's probably better for his YouTube account, depending on how many subscribers he has. He might be able to have a video become pretty popular because it's going to be, disruptive in their feed. Like, oh, click that. Like, the cousin destroys your iPhone? What happened there? So it might be a net positive for him, depending on where he is on his YouTube career. But it's the idea that I do agree with this guy saying OP is not the antagonist, but he's probably not going to get a new phone because they already offered him, a payment for destroying his other phone. But the next reply of this, YouTube pranksters are the effing worst, and a lot of the stuff they do despite what they tell you is staged. Since your cousin is only 17, you should talk to his parents about explaining that not everything posted on the internet is real. And here's the idea: is a lot of it is staged, a lot of it is paid actors. I think that they had that one situation where that guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Venice Beach and I'm gonna kiss strangers for $100 bill." That's staged. It just is. Maybe somebody will sit here and argue with me, but I'm telling you right now that so much of those YouTube channels and that content is staged with actual like what do you call it, casting, where they'll go on Craigslist saying, we need actors for this particular thing. You show up. They don't tell them exactly what it is, but they have them show up to do the prank and be like, okay, cool, we wanted your genuine reaction, but they were compensated. They knew they were being compensated before any activity even happened. So yeah, the whole what is it, it's that old show that was around a long time ago, Jackass, where they had, you know, people doing extreme things on the media, on television, but now it's YouTube, and there's a whole bunch of copycats kind of missing the point, where they're like, oh yeah, there's a certain level of professionalism behind it. Like you have Johnny Knoxville and Bam Margera, and I'm forgetting the other guy, Steve-O, and they're doing all these extreme things, but they're cutting out the fact that those guys are all, not all of them, but a lot of them were professional skateboarders, so they're used to making crazy falls and getting thrown through off ramps and everything. So it's the idea that yes, they're a little more equipped to be taking a huge fall more than the average viewer, so a lot of that stuff gets lost in translation. But let's go ahead and say the next top reply was, not the antagonist. You asked if the phone is now yours. He said yes, it was your phone that you broke. You owe nothing, and he should replace the phone that he broke. And that's why I disagreed. It's the idea is that you got a replacement, he gave you money for that situation. Doesn't, you know, I just don't agree with that. But the next reply is, yep, I think that nails it. So go through a couple more top replies saying, oh no, this one says, okay, your cousin's very obvious the antagonist in the situation, but whether you are definitely up for debate. I personally think you shouldn't have broken the phone. I hate when people purposely break things that are working just to prove a point. You're creating waste for no reason other than spite. I think that I understand that it was in the heat of the moment, and what you did definitely shouldn't have been to pay to replace his phone. He clearly isn't mature enough to own one. Just based off my own principles, I'd say everyone sucks here. But I'm sure the tit for tat section of Reddit is going to love the story and tell you what you did, that you didn't do anything wrong. And that is a big portion of this, where a lot of, I always do the whole, I don't have them right now, is the Rick and Morty analogy, where everybody watches Rick and Morty, they think they're a Rick, but they're really a Jerry, and everybody on the internet thinks like, oh yeah, let's laugh at some Karens, oh my god, she's a Karen, she's so entitled and so vindictive. But a majority of the people on Reddit, especially posting on the judgment sites, are Karens themselves, where they just say, you need to be punished, I'm gonna make sure you're punished, oh my god, punish them, or whatever. And they're all big on, you know, the forcing people to take accountability for their actions and going at no stop for it. And the idea the tit for tat Reddit section is going to love this story, and they do. The idea that this person saying, I hate the fact that people do things for nothing but the reason of spite. And that is true. If you've seen some of the older episodes of DecoyNoise, where you have Michael on it, who was straight from Nigeria and just can't seem to fathom the idea that we're so wasteful over here. Like, just the idea that, what was it, I have the new iPhone, but had a working iPhone 4 from like 10 years ago, and he's like, wait, your phone still works, why do you need a new phone? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, so you're not even gonna donate that other phone, you're just gonna have that over there? I'm like, yeah, I like to have my old phone so I can have, like, you know, pictures on it and stuff, and if I need to replace the SIM card and roll back, I can do it. He's like, so you have two $1,000 devices in your house and you're not using both of them? Like, he just can't understand that. And just the idea that we're living so lavishly that he can destroy a $200 device that probably used to be valued at $800 just for a quick little 20-second YouTube click. Is the idea that, yeah, how wasteful are we? How, you know, that lithium battery, all the gold parts in there, and essentially the terrible working conditions that were made to produce that device, and we just use it as some joke, like we're some, you know, king from the 1900s, where it's just like, yeah, whatever, we just we don't like the way that grain turned out, send it back, just burn it. No, I don't want anybody else to have it, just burn it. Like, the idea that how privileged are we in this situation? I'm not trying to hate on the situation, because I am very privileged and I really appreciate all the things that I have, but I get where this person's coming from on how wasteful are we. The next reply over there was, you know, agreed, there's already enough e-waste in the world, and just the idea that this kid that's, you know, making YouTube videos just doesn't understand what exactly his parents went through to get to that point where they can afford to buy him that device. So I'm getting too on the whole, like, old man shit, wag my finger at it, but I do believe in that as well. So let's go ahead and read that next top comment, which is, not the antagonist. Actions have consequences. He needs to learn that. Definitely doesn't give a penny towards replacement. That's not on you and doesn't teach your cousin anything. Sorry about your phone. And that's probably the truth where I said, you know, the cousin lives in a very sippy cup world where, you know, no matter what he does with his drink, no spills, no tears, I still got my drink, cool, nothing ever happens to me. He doesn't have to pay for that phone. He doesn't have to get a part-time job over at the steel mill to replace his phone, so what would he care? All he's got to do is cry to mom and dad, and the mom and dad are going to blame you, OP, because you're the true jerk in their mind. So, I mean, as always, top comments are for perspective, controversial comments are for fun. So the top controversial comment is, everyone sucks here, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And here's the thing is, I kind of agree with that sentiment right there, with the idea that, yes, the cousin's the antagonist because they messed up the phone. That was totally wrong. They shouldn't have done it. But the idea that OP decided to be like, okay, well, you do this to me, well, I'm going to destroy your phone. Might make you feel better, might teach him a lesson never to try to punk you again, but it is true that breaking his phone doesn't get your phone back, and sometimes that's part of maturity, but, you know, I see both sides. And the next reply was, how? The guy is 17 and broke his phone. If he did it to a stranger, he would have charges against him for destruction of property and possibly assault, which is true. We really need to figure out how do you teach the cousin a lesson, because he's probably not learning the lesson if the parents just turned around and said, OP's at fault for destroying the phone. How dare he do that thing? How dare he retaliate to our son being a terrible person? We had 17 years to raise him to be a well-adjusted, positive member of society. We failed at that, but you know what? OP, you need to pay for it. Let's go ahead and read the next top reply, or controversial reply, which is, everyone sucks here. You should have taken the phone, then let it explain to his parents that why he doesn't have a new phone anymore. But here's the thing is, the idea that they had the most extreme outcome of the situation and they still didn't manage to learn the lesson. They still didn't manage to teach their son, the cousin, a lesson, even when faced with the most dire of consequences in that little YouTube prank. Him saying, taking the phone and going to the parents like, this is why your son doesn't have a phone. That's not getting through them. They're not hearing anything. All they're hearing is, their son's an angel. How dare you destroy his phone? But the next controversial reply got lots of downvotes, and also gonna give me a hard time clicking it. But the next controversial reply that got downvotes was, everyone sucks here. Your cousin's joke was stupid. Your reaction was irrational and destructive. He already gave you a more expensive phone. He owes you nothing. You owe him nothing. And even though that got massive downvotes, I get where they're coming from, because I kind of have the same sentiments in the way that I see this situation. Yes, it was stupid. He shouldn't have done it, and you shouldn't reward him for his bad behavior by saying, okay, you get the content, I'll take this phone, no harm here or whatever. But just the idea that, why are you hurting yourself? You got a better phone. I understand that you'd want to recover your images off that, and probably even I would have taken the new phone and be like, okay, well, you're still paying the Best Buy Geek Squad fees, the outlandish Best Buy Geek Squad fees to recover all my data off my own phone. It's gonna be like $45 for them to do the recovery app on my phone, but you're paying me that, and I'm taking this phone right here because you're a jerk. Yes, it sucks that OP would have to go through all of that, but maybe they'd rather have the satisfaction of destroying the phone and seeing the cousin get all quiet and scared or whatever. But I see why this person would say you owe him nothing, and I see why the Reddit tit for tat squad didn't like that, and they wanted to downvote it heavily. But let's go ahead and look at the next top controversial reply, which is, how is this not everyone sucks here? It was obviously the antagonist overreaction to smash the new phone, and you can't claim he didn't give you a replacement for the second phone, which you broke on purpose, only for the first phone, which he broke. If he broke yours by accident, offered you a replacement, and you didn't want, and you broke the replacement and asked for a different replacement, also out of his pocket, that wouldn't make sense. Your cousin sucks way more than that, but still everyone sucks here, which is true. Cousin sucks more than OP, but OP still sucks, and the idea that if he did it on accident, it would be a different situation. We could see more why he wouldn't have destroyed the phone. But I was saying my example would be, you know, you're at this restaurant and some showboat waiter is trying to flip all the bottles and pour you the wine while they're giving you pizza, and he messes up on accident because he wants to be on like the Instagram or Snapchat or whatever he's recording the video on. Yes, he should replace it, but I can't say you need to replace it to the specifications of me, and I need to be right, and I need to get some payback for you destroying my pizza right here, because that was a pizza that I wanted. I wanted to eat it now, and this other pizza is, you know, it's an outlandish analogy, but that's why you on DecoyNoise. But the idea is still true that if they offer to make amends for it and you don't accept it, it doesn't make you entitled to different payback. But let's go ahead and see the next top controversial reply, which is, everyone sucks here. I get that it was meant to teach a lesson about stupid pranks, but there's still a way better to do that. This is still wasteful and even a bit childish in my opinion. And they got lots of downvotes, but it's true. That was kind of a childish response on their half, where it's just, I'm going to punish you in this way and I'm gonna smash the phone. It's like, yeah, that was a childish thing. That's like, you know, when two kids are there and one of them breaks the other one's truck, so the other kid's like, well, I'm gonna break your truck too. It's like, we should kind of grow past that, and there's a way with words that we should probably settle the situation. But that's why I said that they weren't the antagonist, because the idea that they got caught up in a moment, don't start none, won't beat none. I know that they're justified in their actions to destroy that other kid's phone too, so I'm not going to go in on them. But let's go ahead and read one more controversial reply. If there's actually... Okay, these are just people trying to give name of the channel, and everyone sucks here. So that's the herein lies probably the biggest problem with this situation right here. It's not the situation that the cousin does these terrible pranks, and they like to make the content, and they're like, you know, inconveniencing everyone around them. It's the fact that these people subscribe to that content. The idea that they get positive reinforcement for negative behavior is what's always going to perpetuate this. So if you truly don't like the idea that people are doing YouTube pranks and destroying people's property and laughing about it and like, chill bro, it's a prank, here's a new phone, ha ha ha, yeah, we balling like that, where you get, you know, I'm giving you a free Tesla because I'm such a baller on YouTube. Now, I'm not going all hard on them. I'm just saying that that's the culture of, I can get away with pranks because I'll give you a better iPhone. So I'm more pissed off at the person consuming the content, like these people here, because they're going to ensure that that cousin is still going to produce content like this until no one is paying attention anymore. So I guess that's a good lesson to learn from this, is just the idea that as long as there's consumers for a product, they're still going to make the product, whether they feel good about it or not. But as always, make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on. I know that a lot of people are watching my content and not seeing everything in the feed unless the notifications are on. So I do want you guys to kind of be seeing everything. But as always, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you for coming by, spending the furlough with me. And if you can, donate on the Patreon, donate on the Ko-Fi if you would like to. No pressure here. I just know that I'm already putting advertisements on it, but as I say before, my future is a little bit in the air right now, so putting on a brave face and trying to have fun with you guys still. But if you guys can support, great. If you can't, that's cool too. Just put this on autoplay and watch the next DecoyNoise coming up next.